Most men spend their lives fighting to prove themselves instead of fighting to find themselves. Today on The Comprehensive Man, I'm joined by my good brother, Dr. Joel A.TUDMAN. Together we confront the one question every man wrestles with: who am I? So lock in, my brothers, and learn how to not only fight to find yourself, but also move from uncertain to unstoppable. What's up, good brother?
What's going on, good
Got
brother?
the Hulk here with me,
Oh, that's
man.
you, brother.
No. You know the first time we met, do you remember?
Detroit.
Yes,
we
sir.
Were here in Detroit.
Just
Panel
Hillsborough.
discussion. That's right.
And it was so funny, and you were so respectful, and I'm not even used to receiving or accepting the honor.
Wow.
And so do you remember, we were walking out, and I said, no, brother, you go first. And it was like a battle of seeing who would go first.
You go first.
In that moment, I hadn't seen the father wound play out like that. Shaq, we wouldn't let no one, we was like, no, you go first, you go first. And that's when I realized this brother was strong.
Wow.
I said, no, you go first. And so he was like, no, you go. And I said, oh, okay, I guess I'm going. I said, this got a Hulk, man. But no, ever since then, man, and hearing you talk before the brothers, it moved me. That was my first time really meeting you. And then your transparency and your emotional openness about with your dad and just everything that you've been through as a man connected me. And that's why I wanted to make time to have a conversation with you, brother, so that the men who follow me get to learn more about who you are, but also who Christ is and what he did through you.
Well, man, first of all, it's a blessing to be connected to you. I remember that day clearly, the different things we talked about, the different mechanics, the different styles, methodologies that we discussed as far as health and wellness was concerned when we were talking about bench pressing heavyweight versus lightweight, the theories behind it.
Yes.
The conversation was very, very fruitful and has led today to us having an established relationship. And man, seeing what God has done through you is just ridiculous. So thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you, man. And your new book, look, you guys, I need you to check this out, because when I read the title, The Fight to Find Yourself, it resonated deeply with me. My second book was Battle Cry, Waging and Winning the War Within. So many of us were losing that inner battle.
Yes, sir.
And so just thank you, brother, for writing this book and allowing the Holy Spirit to help more men learn how to fight and to find themselves. My first question is, what made you write that book? Because I know a little bit about your story.
All of the years of being, quote unquote, what men would say success is, made me write the book. Because I had made the money, the salary was good, the job was nice, very respectable career, pastoring a beautiful church, beautiful family. All of that looked incredible. Nike contracts, clothes, everything looked great. But the internal me was pure miserable. Relationship with the wife was terrible. Relationships with my children, terrible. Not knowing who I was is something that I couldn't voice publicly. That was only something that I could battle privately, but didn't have the language for it. But I had the language for my performance. I had studied my skill to the T, knowing how to present in a Baptist church versus a Kojic church versus a PAW church versus a performance for the marketplace. How to put it on, to take it off. I trained myself for that. And then my mentor, my father, had trained me for that. But for me, if you were to rip and peel back every piece of those achievable layers, those performative layers, you just keep peeling. Another performance, another performance, another performance, another performance, another performance, until you got down to where there was just a constant disruptive piece of confusion. And I had gotten to the point to where I couldn't answer this one question. My mentor, my model, Bishop Jake, says to me in the conversation, I love my life. And I looked at him and he said, why are you looking at me like that? I said, because I can't say that. He said, what do you mean you can't say it? I said, I don't love my life. I love what I do. I don't love my life.
Wow.
He said, boy, if I died now, through everything that I've gone through, it would have been worth it. And I said, I can't say that. Because there's so much hidden in here that I don't even know how to even give voice to it. And it took him to start helping me dig into it, and therapy to help dig into it, to the point to where it became so disruptive in me. When COVID hits, there's no time, there's no performance, there's no room for performance, because each pursuit for me, whether it was a book, a message, or a company, was also avoidance for me dealing with what I had suppressed. So I'm pursuing, it's looking like, man, this dude is after something. Yes and no. I'm trying to keep from dealing with me, and I don't have the language to deal with me. So finally, where God put me in a place to where I was getting help, but the help came in such a healthy place that I didn't recognize that the part of me was like a volcano. It was steady coming up, steady coming up, steady coming up. The performance was coming down. Let me tell you why. I wasn't the best anymore. I wasn't the best at what I did anymore.
Who better than you, brother?
Man, Bishop Jakes is the best.
Oh, yeah, you don't put him. I mean, like.
But you got to look at it. That's who I'm with every day.
Okay.
That's who I'm serving every day. I'm driving the car for him. I'm studying him. I'm watching him. I'm carrying his bags.
Yeah.
So I'm no longer the best. Not only am I no longer the best, I'm like the fourth or fifth option. His daughter, Dr. Cynthia James. You got all of these incredible presenters, plus his friends that he would bring in. So you're like way down on the totem pole. So all of the performance-driven stuff,
Yes.
I started sitting in a room where my level of performance went here, and it caused all of this stuff that's in here to start coming up. And he was so healthy. He knew the right questions to ask. He didn't care about my performance. How are you doing? How's your marriage? How's your children? Talk to me. Simple stuff like that. And I'm saying, what do you mean talk to you? Quit sending me those emojis and tell me how you feel.
I believe every man longs to have that type of father, or that type of father figure. If you did have a biological father who was actively in your life, to have that connection to even another mentor.
Yes.
Even with my son, I set him up with men who are my close friends, my uncles. All of them are able to surround him and undergird him with the same principle, but different messages.
Yes, sir.
I have wrote a few questions down, brother, and one was, when did you first realize that the version of yourself that everyone celebrated wasn't the real you?
I've always known it wasn't the real me, but it's been good enough to provide. I've always known that I was more than what I was doing, didn't know the pathway there, and had climbed, if there is a rank, had climbed the rank to a certain place that if I was to ever give voice, that what you're experiencing is a lesser version of me. Back then I would have said it's not me, which would have sounded like it was pretense. It wasn't pretense, it was what I created to sustain the success of a performance. So it wasn't fake, it was a version, but it was an unhealthy version because it didn't involve the authentic me.